So attachment styles aren't personality tests. Instead, they describe two things. One, your greatest relationship fears, and two, how you manage your greatest relationship fears. So if you mostly fear physical or emotional abandonment, and when this fear gets triggered, your body hurts and cries for help, and you just take action to close the distance by just clinging or protesting, you have an anxious attachment. But if you're not healing the deeper feelings at the root of the anxious attachment, you won't maximize the odds you'll get the relationship you're seeking with a partner. But what if you don't fear abandonment? You fear the opposite, unhealthy levels of closeness and seeing yourself as a failure. This is avoidant attachment. You fear losing yourself, and you equally fear failure because failure ultimately leads to loneliness and regret. And to prevent your fears from coming true, when they get triggered, you've learned to create distance to stay safe. Now, the vast majority of those with avoidant attachment want and are in relationships. That's not what they distance from. They instead distance from things that happen in their relationships that cause painful feelings, like maybe conflict, threats of enmeshment, and more importantly, their own feelings. And if that's you, the distancing from your emotions causes you to not be able to support your partner's emotions. And then there's disorganized attachment, which fears all of the above: abandonment, failure, and enmeshment. The fears are more intense. They get triggered more easily. How they get managed is more unpredictable than someone with just anxious or avoidant attachment. How you respond will depend on what you're most scared of in the moment. And worst case scenario, you fear abandonment and enmeshment at the same time, which is even more painful because helping one makes the other even more pronounced. And then secure attachment is the opposite of all this. Relationship fears are low. You're good at doing your own emotional healing. You can support your partner too. And when your relationship fears do get touched, as they will from time to time, you can approach yourself and the situation with a balance of emotional regulation and emotional engagement. You're not distancing from anything, but you're not overwhelmed by anything. You don't have to fall back on reactive clinging, protesting, or distracting because you've learned better ways. And all that I'm describing happens largely subconsciously, and not everyone fits neatly into one category. That's okay, because if you know your style, it can point you in the right direction. But to heal, you just need to be able to name your relationship fears, understand how you react to them, face and work through the feelings, and change what isn't working.